Al, go on then. Gareth Southgate, 5 years in charge of England. I think he's done well at the tournaments. What do you make of his tenure so far as England manager?
Yeah, you're right, lads. I think ultimately England fans need a centre perspective. Before he arrived, England were all over the shop. In the last 5 years or so, he's got the semi-final of the World Cup, lost the Euros final, lost on penalties to one of the best teams in the world in the quarterfinals in the next World Cup. So it's ridiculous, the hyperbole, basically, after a draw last night. But even the context of that game has been overlooked. Ukraine would have been super pumped, given what's happening in their country. They're not a Mickey Mouse outfit. They were part of the great USSR teams in the past. Like it's not like you've gone to a football in backwater. Yeah. They're an established football in power. And England fans need to have a bit more respect for the opponents, I think, and just a bit more centre perspective on what's happening. You've got no God-given right to go and hammer teams left, right and centre. England is still 6 points clear at the top of the group. They're going to qualify. They're going to have a good Euros. This nonsense about him being 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 or a C, it's ridiculous. He's done a really good job as an England manager, so people need to calm down a bit.
What would you grade it?
A final of the Euros, losing a World Cup quarter-final to France, which is probably the best man-for-man squad in world football.
Five of their key players weren't in there.
It's got to be, compared to what preceded him, it's got to be 8.5, 9, surely.
Al?
Yeah.
Are you a Liverpool fan? Are you a Liverpool fan?
I am a Liverpool fan, yeah.
So Jurgen Klopp goes, you take Gareth Southgate?
No, but it's a different context completely. You can go out and buy players to suit.
No, it isn't, because you're an elite club, Liverpool an elite club, right? Yeah. Who obviously not this, but want to be in the Champions League.
Manager in Southgate. Let's get that straight. Klopp's one of the best managers in the world. Southgate isn't that.
Yeah, but you've just waxed lyrical about Gareth Southgate, and he has an elite group of footballers that are coming through, young, talented, hungry footballers who are elite footballers, but you wouldn't take Gareth Southgate at an elite football club with a group of elite footballers?
I wouldn't take him at Liverpool, no.
Why not?
Why not?
I don't think he's good enough.
But then you've just argued against yourself. No,
I think it's a completely different context. Club football and international football are two completely different things. As an international manager, you're bestowed with a group of players who qualify for your country.
But these are elite. So you wouldn't say he was overachieving with this group of players?
No, definitely. He's maxed. He's done well. If you go back, you got Capello. Everyone would suggest that Capello was an elite manager, a world-class manager. He had Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes, Terry, Ferdinand. He didn't do it.
But he had a group of players that were more bothered about playing for their club and put club before country.
Okay, and Southgate's changed the attitude, changed the culture, got the players to buy into what he wants to do, completely changed the atmosphere within the England squad, the culture within the England squad.
But would you not agree?
And come closer than any other English manager since '66.
Do you think he's an elite manager,
He's not just done it once, he's done it time after time.
Do you think he's an elite manager, Gareth?
I don't think he's an elite manager, no.
Okay.
I think he's a good manager, but I don't think he's an elite manager. But I think if you stand back and look at most international teams, the elite managers, the truly elite managers, the Ancelottis, the Klopps, the Guardiolas, the Mourinhos, they're not in international football, are they? Because where it's at, if you're talking about top managers, is Champions League and top end of the Premier League or La Liga. So the very best of the best managers don't go to international football until maybe the tail end of their career as a last job, just to tick it off or something. Yeah,
because they see that maybe a bit of semi-retirement. But the managers, you're talking about the elite managers, probably don't go into international football because, as you said, the players are bestowed upon you, right? Yeah. But this group of players are elite. And I think
Not all of them. Half of them are. Half of them aren't.
But that's surely when you're playing international football, if you've got the elite players which are in the right positions, which I think is going forwards, and you're not utilising them.
From right forward, England have got world-class players. Behind him, they haven't.
John Stones?
No, he's not world-class.
Carl Walker?
Walker, maybe, to be fair. Walker's very good, yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So John Stones...
80% of the team.
I don't think... I think you can name 10 better centre-halves than John Stones.
What, did you see him play for Man City last year? Coming from the centre-half position into midfield and winning Champions Leagues and probably being the best player in the final?
Yeah, but we've got... don't get me wrong, he's a good player, but there's 10 better centre-backs in world football, I'm sure, than John Stones. And the point is we're talking about Southgate here. For what he's done, to be giving him 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, grading him a C. Come on, England fans, Let's have a sense of perspective. Like, genuinely.
No, it's fair. Al, great call.
Cheers, Al.
British, cool, great call. And look, you got to get both sides of the argument as well, and I think he's made a good defence there of Gareth Southgate. Let's welcome in Johnny, a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Go on, Johnny. Al seems to think that Southgate's done a good job. I think he graded it 8.5, 9 out of 10. I'm on a C. I think Perry's
7.
with a B+.
B+.
7. Where are you?
I'm in full agreement with Al. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, this notion of, like, someone needs to explain to me, right? Okay, so just let me make this point. When Ollie Solskjaer was deemed not good enough for Man United, that was based on the fact that Man United used to win everything all the time under Sir Alex. When Unai Emery was deemed not good enough for Arsenal, that's based on the fact that Arsene Wenger took them to numerous titles, FA Cups, constantly in Champions League. When Graham Potter was deemed not good enough for Chelsea, that's based on the fact that over the last 20 years or so, I'm not giving exact numbers, but they've won God knows how many titles, a couple of Champions League, FA Cups, etc., etc. When people are deeming Gareth Southgate not good enough for England, based on what? We haven't won anything.
What does that mean? One second. That's nonsense. Spain didn't win anything before their golden generation for years. In fact, ever. Spain didn't win. They had a golden generation of players, and they immediately won stuff.
We've had a golden generation, and we barely got to a quarter final. What's your point?
We had a golden 11. We had a golden 11.
Right.
We had a golden 11. This is now. We've got a squad of great players. We've got a squad of great players, and every other team that has that golden generation squad of players wins stuff.
According to the media, we've had a squad of great players since Adam were a lad. I'm not being funny, but we haven't done a thing. We haven't done anything since '66. Gareth Southgate is on paper, right, minus the trophy, the one trophy out of 100 years, on paper, the best England manager we've ever had, and you can't argue with that. So where's the hate coming from? He's done miles better than anything. I haven't seen us get to this far in tournament.
Why are we accepting he's done miles of doing everything when he's not won anything? Why are we accepting getting to finals and semi-finals of big achievements?
You want to go back to Roy Hodgson, who gets beat by Iceland, and you want to go back to Sam Allardyce, who gets done for bribes, and you want to get back to, like, Fabio Capello, who couldn't win against bloody Armenia or USA or something.
Maybe this is the issue. We're comparing him to that. Maybe that's the problem. We're comparing him to those level of managers. We've got world-class players, and we simply don't have a world-class manager. That's what it is.
Then I'll tell you what. Then, right?
Do you think he's a world-class manager?
I think he's a world-class manager. Yeah.
Do you think a top 6 team in the Premier League will take him as their manager?
Right. Well,
I'm just asking. Do you think a top 6 team? Do you think if Liverpool were to get rid of Jurgen Klopp tomorrow, Gareth Southgate, it's an interview?
Right. You keep saying that.
I'm just asking. He's a world-class manager. Do you think he gets an interview at Arsenal?
Right. I'm going to say no, but you got to let me make my point. International football, right, and club football are two totally different things. You know that. You know that's true. Why do you think Pep Guardiola's never managed the national team? Mourinho, like your man, Al just said. Then you've got Klopp. All the best managers in the world aren't international football managers
because they're managing the best clubs in the world.
No, it's a different argument because those managers you mentioned worked their way up, obviously, from club football and then got themselves to an elite level with their reputations and then went and got jobs at massive clubs because they'd proved themselves. Gareth Southgate hadn't proved himself as a club manager at Middlesbrough, and he got the job, let's be honest, at England by default because he was good with the under-21s and he fitted the remit.
Please let me say this to you then. So he's proven it. He's not proven himself to be an elite level manager, and he's not proven himself to be the manager of a top Premier League team or a Champions League team, right? But what were England when he took over? There were no qualifying, barely getting out of the group stage, like basically minnows with players that couldn't play together, and he's taken them from that to where they are now.
Because expectations change. Because expectations change, Johnny. You're right. Maybe because he got to the semi-final in 2018, now expectations have changed. So the players are better.
He's a victim of his own success then, but let's not dress it up like he's underachieved or done anything like that. He's not a good manager.
No, he hasn't.
Done incredibly well.
Johnny,
we had a home tournament. We had a home tournament against Italy, Wembley, in the final. We had one shot on target in 120 minutes in a home tournament. If that was the reverse in Italy, I'm telling you now, he's not even getting out of Italy. He's not even getting out of Italy. They would sack him immediately if that was the reverse. We just accept that. So, home tournament.
We have to accept that. Where's this attitude coming from? We're not good. We're not a good international team.
Please
accept that.
Have you seen it, Johnny?
You just said we got to a semi-final, a final, and a quarter-final.
Look, Right, look at it. Listen, right. I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what records you're looking at, but look at the stats. 666, right? Look at where we've been. Look at what we've done in close to 60 years of football, right? We've done nothing. Absolutely nothing. So what's the difference? I
Johnny,
don't get it.
Johnny,
I don't understand where it's coming from.
No, Johnny, it's the group of players that he has now at his disposal. It's the group of players which are at the elite level. You look at Harry Kane, you look at Foden, you look at Bellingham, you look at Marcus Rashford, you look at Declan Rice. He's got an elite group of players. And you mentioned can you just finish? Hold on, Johnny. You said about Solskjaer and Unai Emery. The reason that they weren't successful at Manchester United and Arsenal because tactically they were out of their depth. That's why they didn't succeed at those big clubs, because it was a level that was too high for them. And I can see both. So I can see the balance. I can see the balance of where Johnny's coming from, where we started with Gareth Southgate to where we are now in that 7-year period, where fans are now engaged in the England football team. We hear fans quite rightly calling up and getting passionate about it, about the team, about Gareth Southgate. So the culture and philosophy that he's created is second to none. It's just where he is now. Can he take this group of elite players to the next level, which is winning major tournaments? And unfortunately, or fortunately, if we win it, in the end, Gareth Southgate's tenure will be judged by what happens in the Euros. And there's a bit of an irony. The final's in Berlin, isn't it, next summer? Harry Kane's actually alluded to himself. Champions League final's at Wembley. The Euros final is in Berlin. There's every chance that Harry Kane could end up scoring the winning goal in Berlin.
Oh, please. We'll see anyway.
Johnny,
great call. I hope it does happen. But
great, passionate call, Johnny.
Apart from the Harry Kane for Bayern Munich thing.